So, starting from educational institutions and the military, and the way the caste narrative has actually harmed and is continuing to harm organizations, we have progressed to talking about numbers which are hidden. And in doing so, we discovered the shocking jewel in the numbers that completely overturns the khela of percentages to reveal the true picture that garibi jati nahi dekhti. We have also spoken about the utility of the Jati and Varna groupings which we have in our society. Caste, casteism, Jati, Jati Janganna. They don't all mean the same thing. Caste and Jati are groupings. Jativad and casteism are behavior. Namaskar. Welcome to Bharat Chintan, where we talk about everything that is important to ensure that our civilization thrives and prospers. In this 5-part series, we are talking about caste, Jati, Jati Janganna, why banning Jatis would be disastrous for Bharat. And finally, we will be talking about our demands, about what the Jati Janganna should collect. In the first part, I spoke about Dr. T.M.A. Pai, his Manipal group of institutions, and I spoke about how caste narrative is being used to hollow out our military. In the third video, I gave you some data about numbers which are hidden and unfortunately which promote the fake narrative of caste privilege. In this one, I am going to talk about why it has been my long-held belief that banning Jati would be disastrous for Bharat. I am sure you have noticed that if you are living in an apartment complex or a small colony and there are some 5 Malayali families, you will see that they immediately form a group. They celebrate together, they meet often, they help each other. The same is true for Gujaratis, for Tamilians, for Bengalis. In fact, Bongo Samitis are famous everywhere. They will celebrate their festivals with pomp and ceremony as a group. Let me ask you a question. If a doctor says that he wants to marry only another doctor, would it make you furious? I don't think so. You would understand that having similar professions, similar life, similar duties would make things easier to understand each other. But when a particular Jati or Varna person says he wants to marry a person from the same Jati or Varna, there is this big hullabaloo about discrimination. The personal space becomes the social battleground. Since when did a life partner become a diversity project? Freedom of choice. Are you mad? Your personal peace of mind? Not important. Compatibility. What's that? Shared history, shared practices, shared food habits. How dare you? All that's privilege. The demand is bali, sacrifice, your sacrifice. But a doctor's or lawyer's choice? That's cool. While it would be great if the actual incidents of discrimination are identified and corrected, this divergence into personal spaces is the very reason all these Jativad debates fail. And because of that, people now want to ban Jati, Varna, caste. I say there could not be a more foolish decision. We want to eradicate casteism and Jativad, which is cancer, which is kachra. But banning Jati, caste, Varna is something entirely different, and I'll tell you why. Now, did you know that Marwadis, especially when they are outside their state, often form associations? They collected massive amount of funds. What do they use it for? Did you know that if a Marwadi happens to be stricken by a life-threatening disease, say like cancer or kidney failure, they don't have to worry about funds. Their associations, their Varna associations, their Jati associations are there to assist them. Is that good or bad? I would say it would be the only insurance policy that actually works. Correct? There is a self-funded community group which ensures that people facing a crisis in life are not helpless or alone. Jains do it too. If communities know, like for example, I am a GSP, if I know that this is the status of the people in my community, this is what is required, this is what is needed, would I not be willing to work towards providing what is needed? If a Marwadi can set up a fund that ensures that people don't die without proper treatment, I, as a member of a very small community, I and people who think like me would be more than willing to set up mechanisms to help the poor in my community. And every such effort is one less burden on the government, on the taxpayers' money. It is as simple as that. Without the government having to provide everything, there will be decentralized, self-funded, self-regulated, self-caring groups who would share the burden of uplifting the poor. And every family that is uplifted from poverty contributes to the Viksit Bharat goal which we have. Now that is going to be the topic of the next video in this series. That will be the last one. Now, in any country, and especially more so in India, which is so big and which has got such a vast population, can the government be everywhere? Can the government provide a safety net for every individual? 146 crores. Can any government provide a safety net? Of course not. The government cannot be everywhere. But our Jaatis, our Varnas they are there right on the ground. The government has limited resources. It can give a certain amount of help. Just like the free ration being given to the 80 crore people now, which is going to be continued till 2028. But apart from giving that free ration, how much more can the government do? When we say ban Jati, what we are doing, what we are demanding is that social security net which comes up from the grassroots, which is self-created, Atmanirbhar. What we are demanding is that we should dismantle that. When you say ban Jati, ban Varna, what you are not seeing is that if you do that, ultimately every family, every individual will be completely dependent either on the government or large corporations. They will be slaves to these corporations because the corporation doesn't care for you. It only cares about its own bottom line. During COVID, our economy sustained because of this feeling of oneness. People set aside differences. Employers sent money digitally to their maids and drivers' accounts, even when they were not getting anything in return. Why? Because we are a society that thrives on cohesion, on connection. Western welfare states try to replicate this trust-based economic model with trillions of dollars in taxes. But Bharat does it for free through community connection. Is that something that we want taken away from us? It is well known that families, the presence of families, makes human beings stronger and resilient. the Jatis and Varna groupings make the family strong and resilient. In a crisis, your friends may come. They might help you for 1 or 2 days. But who stays the length? It's either your family or your Jati members. Banning Jati, is that something that is going to help us? Or is it going to create problems which we have not thought of so far? Jati Janganna, wrongly translated to caste census, is imminent now. Do you know why the caste data is so often such a jalebi? Let me tell you why. Caste is a Portuguese colonial word coming from the word castas. It actually meant a group of animals, and this term was force-fitted onto thousands of organic fluid Jaatis so that it could fit into a rigid 4-tier system. If you are interested in quickly understanding how casta in Portuguese became the default instead of Jati or Varna, you can check out my earlier video here. As I said, you know that Jati Janganna is coming. We should be talking about it. Done well, it can place us on a high-rise path. Done wrongly with bad intentions, it can widen fault lines, create new ones. We should be talking about it. It should be the topic of conversation. Somewhere as far back as in 2018, I had written a thread on Twitter, X now, where I had listed a few data points which I thought were required for us, for any caste census that was undertaken by the government. That list has actually increased because while researching this topic, I realized that these are data points that are crucial. We can continue down this path of blind social justice, or we can escape the trap we are in right now. We just have to understand that if we continue this path of blind social justice, we aren't just erasing the names, we are dismantling our civilizational shock absorbers. We can't build a new shield without the right tools. In the final video of this series, I am going to give you those tools, the specific, non-negotiable data points we must demand from the upcoming census. It's time to stop talking about narratives and start talking about the blueprint. We want a resilient Bharat, and for that, the data will be there for you in the next video. Come back because that video is coming soon. Arm yourself with the data points and demand. Let me tell you, no government can resist valid demands from its voters. If you found something interesting in this, do consider subscribing and sharing this with other people. And come back for the final video in this series. Namaskar.